In this video we are going to start from the point where I finished my last video and focus on Brian's crowdfunding campaign, the digital freedom platform, everything that's wrong with it, and address some lies and manipulation tactics that Brian has been using to lure more people into giving him money. By the end of this video, I think you are going to have a clear understanding of why I said that Brian Rose has been ripping people off, and that London Real's digital freedom platform is pretty much a giant scam. Just like in my last video, I'm going to leave my opinion completely out of this and only state facts supported with evidence. If you haven't watched the episode 1, I suggest you to pause this video and watch that first. Click the card here or link in the description.
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
So let's start from the point where he raised first $100,000 and introduced the phase 2 of the digital freedom platform and said that it's your choice if you want to be on the front lines fighting for freedom of speech by donating, or you want to hide with your toilet roll. Next video he published was on April 23rd, and in that video he clarified what is phase 2, basically another series of smaller interviews, and second round of donations is going towards hosting charges for that. I once again need to point out what he said, and I quote, "We are going to run our interview with him on the digital freedom platform this Sunday." I need to point this out once again for people saying that digital freedom platform is not built yet and that Brian never said it was. In this video he also mentioned phase 3 for the first time, which is building the blockchain technology that is going to make the digital freedom platform next level. He also said that phase 3 is final phase and he's going to shut the crowdfunding campaign once he raises money for that, which is going to be on May 3rd once he finishes Rose Ike 3 interview. That's another lie, since now is 12th of May and the crowdfunding campaign is still active, but I will get into that later in this video. Right now I just want to point out that a lot of London Real army are older people who are not tech savvy, and he's throwing these words at them like blockchain technology and live streaming technology to justify the price. I got a lot of comments on my first video from people saying like, do you know how much this technology costs? It's much more than what he's asking, he's a hero, he's going to pay the rest himself, and so on. So that's the reason I'm pointing out to these buzzwords he's been using.
Digital solutions. Integrating open data spaces. Tech-bit data solution systems. Creating unique cross-platform technologies. Technologies.
And if you go watch his videos, you are going to see how many times he's emphasizing that this is the largest conversation in human history, and the most companies they've asked were not even sure if it's possible to stream to 1 million people, because as he says, it's never been done before, which is of course another lie. In this same video he's using a lot of manipulating tactics like you are going to be a founding member if you donate, which is like you are a founding father in America. And also, what will you tell your grandkids you did in 2020? Were you part of the resistance? Were you part of the people that were investing in the future and our freedom? Or were you one of the ones that decided you would wait, decided you couldn't help right now, but I let you guys do it? Now, I won't go into explaining these tactics, since I'm sure most of you see how manipulating this sounds, but if not, never mind, since it doesn't really have anything to do with what happens after that. So let's continue. In this same video he said that someone asked him why doesn't he cover the costs of the live stream himself, and he says that no business can cover something like that, and that it's not about the money but spreading the right message, and even if his London Real business went bankrupt, the digital freedom platform will stay alive since it's separate entity. And also once again he mentioned that this platform is not his, it's a separate piece to stream freedom. I'm going to get into that in a second, but I also want to mention that in this same video he said that a guy without a job asked him how is it fair to raise money, to which Brian replied, and I quote, "What's more important for you? Isn't your freedom and freedom of speech and knowing that truth more important from you? I mean, the future Hunger Games reality sounds much more dire. Isn't it worth spending money for free speech?" This is absolutely disgusting on so many levels. First, the most fascinating thing that I've noticed is the fact that he keeps saying how mainstream media and governments are spreading fear. And don't get me wrong, I agree, they are, but this is much worse fear spreading. Hunger Games. Really? I mean, really? And he's using that fear into manipulating people into donating him money. But okay, let's go past that. The most disgusting thing here is the fact that he's convincing people who lost their jobs into donating him money. A lot of people commented on my other video that he's not forcing anyone into donating. Yes, I agree, he's not forcing anyone, but he's using manipulation tactics. And of course, most people who don't have money won't donate, but there are those who will. There are people who spent their last money or their savings to donate to this dude because they think they are doing the right thing. This is absolutely disgusting, and one of the main reasons I'm spending so much time to expose Brian Rose and his lies. Now, remember how Brian Rose keeps saying that the Digital Freedom Platform is a separate entity, and even if London Real went bankrupt, it will live on? Well, first I want to show you where the money goes once you donate. As you can see from the official terms and conditions that are available on this so-called Digital Freedom Platform, it says that money you donate goes to a company called Longstem Limited. And if you go to the company's house to check this company, you are going to find out that Longstem Limited is a company that owns London Real and has only one shareholder. Guess who's that shareholder? Yep, it's Brian Rose. So this was another lie, and so-called Digital Freedom Platform is not a separate entity after all. Another interesting thing that's available on company's house is the fact that Longstem Limited company is in a lot of debt, which is important because it can explain these unethical business practices that Brian is using, but it's also important because he said if London Real goes bankrupt, the Digital Freedom Platform will continue since it's a separate entity, but as you can see, it's not. Again, if you think I'm lying and I photoshopped this or something, you can check it out yourself. And now things start to get interesting. On 25th of April, Brian released this video where he announced this first interview, and I quote, "We are gonna be streaming him on our brand new Digital Freedom Platform that's happening in 5 o'clock Tuesday UK time." He also announced second interview on the new Digital Freedom Platform that's going to happen on Thursday. Again, since I got a lot of comments from people saying that Brian never said that his website is the Digital Freedom Platform and that it takes months to build the technology, you can clearly see that he keeps saying that the interview will be on Digital Freedom Platform and that his WordPress website is the platform. At this point, I think he raised almost $400,000, and in this same video he announced the phase 4, which is to build Android and iOS apps for the Digital Freedom Platform. I think it's already pretty clear that he's not going to stop stretching these goals, raising more money and coming up with more ridiculous goals, but we are going to get into that later. I just want to once again point out that a lot of his audience is not tech savvy, and these things sound really impressive to them. Imagine we are going to build the technology and you will have access to the truth from the Digital Freedom Platform in your pocket. How awesome is that?
Absolutely fascinating.
On April 27th, he streamed this video on YouTube and cut the stream at 2 minutes and 47 seconds just so he can get his audience worked up. They were thinking that YouTube shut his stream down, which is of course not true, and it was just another manipulation tactic to get his army angry enough. On the same date, he published this video where he said that funding for the phase 3 is complete and that they are entering phase 4, and he did it again. He stretched the goal once again, announcing phase 5, which is legal fund. And once again he said that he's going to shut the crowdfunding campaign on May 3rd and that this is the last phase. Those of you who watched my first video covering Brian Rose and London Real already know this, but the interview was streamed using the free platform called Dailymotion. Let me show you a clip from that video. I wanted to find out how much does that bandwidth really cost and how much of these donations he's going to put into his pockets. So I went to the source code of his website to potentially find which hosting he uses for the stream. I finally found it. Wait for it, please. It's dailymotion.com. For those of you who don't know, Dailymotion is basically an alternative to YouTube. Same thing, basically a free video streaming platform. As you can see, there are 2 plans available, and starter is free, but advanced says contact us. So I thought, okay, I'm going to contact them and ask, just for the sake of this video, since he's probably using that advanced plan, and even if he's not, he can always claim that's what he's using and that it costs. Before I did that, I clicked the offers tab and I was shocked. Starter plan says free, advanced offers says, oh look at that, free as well. So basically Brian raised $100,000 to pay for bandwidth and the so-called technology for his digital freedom platform, but he used his already existing website that's built on WordPress, which is a free content management system, and used Dailymotion, which is a free YouTube alternative, and he was calling that digital freedom platform.
Absolutely fascinating.
After the interview, he made this video saying how amazing it feels to stream on digital freedom platform where he can't be censored and no one can take the video down because they have their own technology and brand new platform.
TechBit Data Solution Systems, creating unique cross-platform technologies. Technologies.
Again, I want to point out that Dailymotion is just one of many websites that are alternatives to YouTube, and they could take that down, same as YouTube. He was just lucky that they haven't. And since his army is already so caught up in this whole scheme, even if it did got taken down, he could always say that some sophisticated government hackers took it down and it would make him even more popular. He did the exact same thing with the second interview on the digital freedom platform. He hosted the interview with Dailymotion for free. I hope this makes sense, and in my first video covering this topic I showed people exactly that and how they can check it out themselves, and how he's lying and taking money for hosting charges while he's using completely free platform. But as you can see from the like to dislike ratio and the comment section, people just don't want to accept that they got f***ed. So please don't forget to hit the like button on this video, since if it gets terrible like to dislike ratio, people are going to assume that I'm talking BS and won't be seeing what Brian is doing. Now comes the part that everyone was waiting for, the Rose Ike 3 interview. In the following days, Brian was hyping it up, and this is really interesting since these are YouTube videos that are promoting something that YouTube is taking down because they were told to do so by the government or whatever. Now look at how many clips he published promoting and hyping that interview. Not only that, but he was promoting a possible crypto scam which we are going to get into in another episode, but I just wanted to point out that the man who's fighting for the freedom of speech turned off comments on his own video, basically denying you freedom of speech. He's also deleting and actively censoring his comment section, deleting comments asking questions about where the money goes and other things he doesn't want people to see. Another thing worth mentioning here are these two videos that are pre-interview, where he said he's reporting from the secret bunker because he's worried about David Icke's safety, which is another manipulation tactic to get his followers worked up, but I will get more into that in another episode. The interview started streaming simultaneously on both London Real Digital Freedom platform, and on YouTube. Now, I was recording the YouTube stream because I was suspecting what's going to happen, since Brian used the same stunt for the previous interview as well, and sure enough, he switched the stream to private right in the middle of it, and there are two reasons for it. First, he did that to get people worked up and angry. Some of his followers are aware that he switched it to private as a marketing stunt to create more hype, but they don't care, and others are not aware and think YouTube actually shut the stream down. Second reason is to get them to his website to pump the numbers of viewers and to get more people to his email list so he can spam them with his course and other life-changing opportunities and make even more money. This time he finally delivered on his promise. He actually used the white label streaming company called The Cast. Well, kinda. Remember how he was asking 100k to stream to 1 million people? Well, a YouTuber called CoffeeZilla called The Cast and asked how much does it cost to stream to 1 million people.
Right, so it would be 2.2 petabytes, and it would be $61,000.
Okay, $61,000
It's basically $100,000 to stream 1 million people.
for about $1 million.
Turns out it's $61,000 instead of 100k. I will leave a link to CoffeeZilla's video in the description. So there we have another lie, since Brian keeps claiming it was 100k. Now, as soon as the interview stream ended, they switched back to free Dailymotion. That's extremely interesting because we can't prove how many concurrent viewers he had, but we can use some information that we have to make a guess. First, as you can see, while he was streaming on YouTube, it had less than 100k concurrent viewers at its peak. Now, YouTube is a website with more than 2 billion users, and it's fair to guess that he had less concurrent viewers on his website. I'm sorry, platform. I don't know how I keep that up. Anyways, let's be completely fair and say, since he probably collected a ton of emails on his list and he blasted all of them with the link to his platform, that he had 3 times more unique people on his website than at its peak on YouTube. So it comes down to 400,000 concurrent viewers at its peak. Another piece of information that we can use are these two videos. As you can see, in the first video he said that they had 1.1 million unique members, never mentioned how many concurrent viewers at its peak, and if you think, okay, maybe he meant concurrent viewers but called that unique members, from this other video that he published one day after on May 5th, he said 1.3 million viewers, so he definitely meant unique page views and not concurrent viewers. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because, as I said, he switched back to Dailymotion as soon as the stream ended, and again, Dailymotion is free. This is not that important since it's speculation and I can't know for sure since I don't have access to his analytics, but it's definitely interesting. In the meantime, his video of the interview got deleted from Dailymotion, so he switched to using BitChute as a hosting, which is again free, And like I said in my previous video, it's an alternative to YouTube that's using peer-to-peer technology, and it's not deleting videos. Completely censorship free. What's even more interesting is that this is how video platforms should look like. Not a free WordPress website that's embedding videos hosted on other places for free, but a place where other people can upload content as well. Now, even more interesting is the fact that Brian unlisted the interview on BitChute, even though he has account there with public videos. So why a guy whose goal is to spread the truth doesn't allow people to watch it on any other place but his website filled with trackers and ads for his course? The last thing that I want to mention briefly is another new phase of the crowdfunding campaign.
Another one.
Phase 6, and this one is the biggest so far. Now Brian is asking $250K per month, which equals to whooping $3 million per year for a fucking WordPress website that he calls a platform. Now, just to put things into perspective, BitChute, an actual peer-to-peer platform that's about freedom of speech, is also asking people to donate. Do you know how much they are asking monthly? 30K. Just 30K for a real platform and real technology that already exists and is working perfectly. Same technology that Brian is borrowing right now and using for free. So guys, if you really want to support a platform that's not censoring, I suggest you to ask for a refund and use that money to donate to a real platform. Also, it would be nice to ask Brian why he haven't started uploading on already existing censorship-free platform in the first place, instead of taking people's money for a WordPress website, which he keeps calling a platform. Why his maintenance costs 8 times more than maintenance of a platform with at least 100 times more videos. And finally, if his goal is to spread the interview and let people think for themselves, why his interview there is unlisted. I would ask him myself, but my comments on his channel are getting censored. Oh, the irony. I really hope you are now starting to see how problematic this whole thing is. In the next episode, we are going to dive into his business practices, trackers he's been using on his Freedom platform, his course, and probably some other things as well. Once it's up, I'm going to leave a link here in the description and in the first comment. Please don't forget to hit that like button, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching and see you in my next video.